29-year-old beta living at home with my mom, and just was living in fear and doubt, and I couldn't hold down a job. And then I found you, and I started listening. I started just being more at peace, and I forgave my mom, and I forgave my father. And it's like right after that, everything just changed in my life, and I was able to get a good job, and I moved out, and I live on my own now, and everything has just changed. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for spreading that message. It really is a positive message.
Amazing. That's good, man. I want people to know God loves us in ways that there are no words to express, because you have nothing to compare it to, right? Stay with the silent prayer. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets better. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier, easier, easier. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thanks for tuning in, folks, on this Thursday. I appreciate you tuning in on this Thursday. It's a fine Thursday. I almost don't. Do we not want to say it's a fine Thursday? I'm examining myself, and I didn't. I mean, it's not nice news, okay? But I appreciate everybody tuning in today, this Thursday, here at American Anchor Baby. I'm here with you with a bit of a show, okay? I got a bit of a show for you. Something on my mind I want to get to you. And news and all that. I appreciate you being here on the American Anchor Baby. We'll be getting into a number of things. Welcome to the show. Just appreciating my viewers here, welcoming them. You're all talking about Kirk and all that, and we'll get to the details, as you may have heard some details about what's going on. I mean, speculation has been running pretty wild, but when there's no information, although I wouldn't do it, go around and making claims or anything. What can you expect of the public? And as of still now, there's what's been released as a photograph for a person of interest in this shooting of Charlie Kirk, and that's been out with some with a reward out there, and they're looking for this guy. Basically, they're looking for him, and they got some details about the gun. They got some details about. It tells you maybe even a little bit about who did this shooting. It's strange stuff. But what can I say? Monitoring and watching the news, it's definitely the topic. It's dark stuff, folks. It's pretty dark. And I was talking to Derek, I don't remember it being a dark cloud over America like this since like George Floyd. I remember saying something like that. And I know that people are trying to, I heard some were saying, hey, this is George Floyd for white people, the train stabbing. And anyways, there's a lot of speculation and thoughts about it. And there's something to be said about how you respond to everything. And I think it should be with some space and with some slowly, with some, just not quickly, It's all fast stuff and there's no real information, but we'll get to all of that. The person of interest, the images, and some of all this stuff. What's on my mind is the hate. What can I say? The anger and hate. It's attempting to keep like a space with it all and not try and say, well, this is this side, that side. And I find it hard not to see what seems to be the most average, centrist or normie looking, if I may, of people saying some beyond the pale stuff. Like what I mean by that is just not conducive for any kind of society. Just anger. And maybe you could say that about the right. You can't imagine them, the business owners and professionals and people in suits who have terrible ideas. But what are these radical ideas? We'll get to all of that. How radical was Charlie Kirk? I think, and we'll get to that because it speaks to this mentality that seems to be in the most average of people. I want to explain. So, I think to start explaining what's on my mind recently is just this moment I had. I sometimes go to the Shell gas station just down the road. You get a little snack action, okay, to stay locked in, okay? Maybe that's demonic in some way, okay? But a little kind bar to stay locked in. Sometimes we go to the Shell gas station, get a little snack action, okay? Haven't done it in a while. You might be familiar with some of these outings because I interact with the Shell gas station Mexicans, right? You might remember them, recurring characters, and they're fine people, whatever. They just work there. And we sometimes talk about, it comes up, politics and whatever. They know I'm for Trump. It never gets that deep. But anyways, I never really consider them even that deeply informed and political. The last time they made any grand gesture about, hey, well, did you hear this about this or that in the news? It was like election stuff. So I never consider them that tuned in. I walk in today and it's the lady. She's a nice lady. She sometimes talks about this stuff, but she talks about it the least. Like, she doesn't know anything about politics. I come in, first thing she says, hey, I haven't seen her in a while. Hey, what you hear about this Charlie Kirk thing? You hear about this, getting shot? And I'm like, yeah, I definitely heard about it. What do you think? What do you think about it? First thing she says, you live by the gun, something like this. You live by the gun, you die by the gun, something like that, in Spanish. And I saw her and I was like, wow, I felt nothing. I knew she was lost. I felt not a single thing. I knew right then and there, I knew she was just lost. And it was interesting, I'm like, where did you download this from? Where did you download this thing to ask me? You don't think about politics. People don't want people to die generally. Or maybe they do. Maybe they have anger. Maybe we should believe God when he said it in the Bible. Or Jesus, my bad. Don't fire her. Oh, no, I'm not trying to get somebody fired. No, or docs or anything. It's just a true story. Where was I? Sorry, I'm looking at chat, distracted. I see there's someone that speaks about this. People don't want people to die, but I guess we should believe the Bible. If you have anger, you're a murderer. But in that moment, I knew she was just lost. And anyways, it was just a silly thing to say. And where did she get it from, right? It makes me think about how we're not really individuals, right? We are the body is subject to the spirit that controls it. I don't know, I can't control myself. I want to do this. I have this desire. I have or you'll have questions like, what do I do when my body wants this? The body, I heard this. We may have all heard this recently. Shout out JLP. The body, right, subject to what's spirit. So there's a spirit to it, an avatar, so to speak, that you could kind of glean and gather when you have your average milieu express themselves, because that's how people are. You could get that from the Republican side. Just kind of average, right? If you meet somebody on the street and they end up being a Trump supporter, they've downloaded something too. And it speaks to just how widespread, maybe how accepted this is for those downloading the liberal, left-wing, Democrat, whatever packet here. She didn't have to think. Most people don't, right? They just kind of look at their news and whatever. They already kind of have the take of their side. And if the take of their side in the average Mexican lady who's not into politics, probably into the Mexican thing, anti-white thing, not trying to dox you, their average thinking is you live by the gun, you die by the gun. And you see it around. You're looking at some of the TikToks, the videos going around. It's professionals, nurses, whatever, educators, just students, future professionals. And they're basically saying this side, the right, consider who's this radical side, really just boomers, Trump supporters, right, voters. This side has gone too far. Think about what they've been saying for a while now. They're against democracy itself. They're against democracy itself. Right, the point of January 6th, the point of this stuff. And they adopt the worst telling of these events by enemies, by people that hate them in the government, in the media. And they're like, yeah, these people, they hate democracy. They've been saying that for a while. You can't debate with these people. They're fascists. And so the general person has downloaded this. And so, anyways, I thought it was. We talked a bit. I responded a bit. I felt nothing. I felt nothing, but I was like, she was like, and I was like, so you think he should die? She's like, no, I don't think he should die. Oh, okay. Do you think when we disagree, should any of us should we have died? Should any of us have killed each other? She's like, no. I'm like, I rest my case. I was like Krillin dealing with a Cyberman with some moves taught to me by JLP. But look, it was like, I was like, some people coming in, I'm like, she's like, oh, but this happens. It happens. She's like, it just happens. And I'm like, but it shouldn't. We're in America. We shouldn't die. You should be able to speak freely and disagree. When you don't, that's when you start fighting and you have violence. She's like, yeah, I agree. I'm like, I rest my case. Anyways, what are you talking about, Nit? The gas station lady Mexican. Were you listening? Welcome to the show. You're here, not listening. You're not even listening to the show, but you're here and you're enjoying and you're chatting and you haven't even clicked the like button. We are a quarter way in to the hour. Don't be rude. Show some decorum in this time of incivility. This time of chaos. Show some civility here. Click the like button. Say hello when you're here chatting. Thank you. And enjoy the show. So anyways, that was the story with the gas station Mexican. People in the chat, they'll get her fired. I don't want, look, let me just not even, I'm using that as a segue to talk about the public response. It's been interesting. We'll get to some of that. Pretty much every person who's saying stuff like that online, they're like doxing them. They're putting their names out. They're like, call this person's, employer, tell them that they're, and these people are saying unhinged things personally. And they're like, oh, call their employers. So pretty much everybody, there's like a running list of those who have, spoken ill upon Charlie Kirk. I mean, what's even the point of doing such a thing, right? So let me pull this up because we need to get the archive of this because, we appreciate you, New York Times, for the information. But just give us a second here because I want to get you these details. Moving on here. You may have already heard of some of this. But the person of interest, okay? So that's what the authorities are saying, FBI. They got these images, these two images you're looking at, and this is the this is their person of interest. Let me just duplicate this. This is their person of interest. And they're looking for him, right? They got him on some grainy footage here. So they say they've released these two images they're seeking as they investigate the shooting, indicating they had not been able to identify him through facial recognition or other technology and needed the public's help. Yeah, I knew they were going to find something. I mean, I'm like, in this, just cameras everywhere, just how it is. They're going to have some footage of something. I knew they'd have something here. But yeah, the grainy images show a man in a stairwell wearing a black shirt, baseball cap, dark sunglasses. Authorities have described him as a person of interest. State and federal officials also said they had found a bolt-action rifle used in the attack, as well as imprints of a forearm, a palm, and a shoe. So they're working hard to get this guy. I know a lot of people, there was like suspicion and all that mess, but what can I say? It's just, we don't know much, right? We're on this side. And, person of interest, they really, it's not, I don't know if there's any point of me even, let me say this, it's fine to, I guess, speculate, think about, I mean, look, the world lies about so much, so I guess I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just, put it like this. It just persons of interest. This happens. People could get away and they just need it. Like Luigi Mangione. This happens, okay? So remember that he was Luigi Mangione killed that CEO guy, and it was like a manhunt. And they had photos, and those started coming out, and they did get him at like that McDonald's. Just saying it happens, right? What? Nick's trying to run cover. Anyways, look at this. Just some more details. Because they had this gun. And that's the other aspect here. So let me see. You know, we're going to have to find it somewhere else because when you archive one of these, it doesn't let you open up these tabs to read the whole article. So you got me there, New York Times. You got me there. Very, very smart. We're looking for... Basically, I want to get you the thing where it says it, but they recovered this gun. Okay, they mapped out this guy's whole route. Okay, they mapped it to the roof. That was however many yards away, how they say. And here we got it, CNN. Yeah, they tracked the shooter's movements. They believe they've recovered a rifle used to shoot Kirk from a roof. Sources say phrases related to cultural issues were found scrawled on a rifle. But it's not clear there's a motive. The shooter's male, appears to be of college age. You know, I saw the reporting. It said it was trans ideology and anti-fascist stuff written on the firearm they recovered. So that's kind of some of the details coming out. They got that out there looking for him. $100,000 as a reward. But I wanted to show some of this because, you know, like I was describing, it seems like, I don't know if I've seen brazen speech like this over a fella that, I mean, over an individual who, you know, I don't consider that radical, but I guess, you know, I don't know what you call it, if it's this Overton window, but this, in what people's minds is not radical and accepted discourse, it's interesting how it is for some. I want to show some of that. And just kind of the intense hate going on. And it's really because you got to see how do you put this? I mean, they don't care. You got to see how the world doesn't care. You got to see how, I mean, if the world doesn't care, I mean, definitely these people who think they're your enemy, opposition doesn't care. And you go into that mentality, then you're also enemy, opposition. Now you're in this cycle. Now you're in this dialectic. You're a pawn. Subject to the environment. But look, I'm also showing you this because you can't get mad. They don't care. They're not mad and wondering, why don't you care? And let's be friends. And it's like that. Man, we keep trying. And it's, they don't get mad. There's no point in fighting. They don't care. They don't care. Some are so angry and hateful. They wanted Kirk dead or don't care, and feel the same way about what, like just Trump voters. They call it right-wing hate. They're calling this out. They're saying, look at the Republicans. These are like the liberals online. Look at them call for war. They compiled it. This is basically speech calling for mass violence, the liberals are saying. It's materially different. I don't want to run look, whatever. These are what these people are saying. I don't have to defend them. But, you know, they're saying this is war. Enough is enough. Ready for a civil war. Charlie Kirk getting shot is the shot heard around the world. I don't want National Guard sent to Democrat cities anymore. I want the Air Force. When Democrats lose elections, they couldn't steal. They murdered the people they were. Okay, people got they're going right. It's materially different in my mind because they're responding, right? They're responding, and they're wrong. They may be overreacting, but they are responding, right? They may be overreacting. You saw the scooter thing brawl. that didn't look too good. Personally, these are those flashes, right? And then they get the video of it. It goes around. It's a net win for the forces of chaos, folks. So you could barely see it, right? But, right next to that car, you see what looks like somebody has the green. You see the green of one of those things, right? Either the bicycle or the scooter. You see the green of it. White shirt. Must have started yelling something at them, like the reports say. Now he's on the ground. He's up, he's back, and now he's on his back, right? He's fighting with it. He's trying to fight everybody. Yeah, he got right. Crowd's hitting, but he's trying to fight back the crowd. Now he's back on the ground. So, yeah, I mean, you can't respond with anger. I mean, but I think this moment right here is describing what I'm saying, basically. It's not a matter of absolving and who's better. It's just factually describing what's going on. What are these folks here for? A vigil for Charlie Kirk. What are the folks online and et cetera going around hating and being mad about? Vigils for Charlie Kirk, moments of silence in the house. That, hey, you're right, happy that he shot. So when someone's right going to them and say, hey, F you for that, it's just, that's what's happening, right? These are the vigil people, leave me alone people, and those are the insane people. And the vigil, leave me alone people are wrong for their response here. Okay, that's just how I see it. It's like a win for chaos, a win for evil, and it's something maybe needs to happen. Something maybe needs to change or whatever. But I don't think you'll know operating in this mentality, because these folks are vicious. Look, he's burning in hell. They're saying those are anonymous, right? But some are a lot bolder. Some do not care. I mean, again, like the lady who I spoke at the gas station. It's a matter of, well, you hate democracy. You're one of these words, fascist, Nazi, etc. Children died because you didn't put gun laws. That all equates to, okay, you're not a citizen. You're not a voter. You're not a person you debate with. You are, anything can happen to you. That is dehumanization, right? And that is the average response to the Charlie Kirk thing.
We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey, ooh, ah, ooh. Cut the music. Cut the music. In real talk, I am not truly celebrating that he got shot in the neck. I think it's really sad for his family because I know he was a father, and if he does pass away from this, hopefully not.
Anyways, again, it's like, I don't want to just go through these like what. I'm looking at some of my links here and I'm thinking, signal boosting. Who cares about what they're putting out? Because I feel I'm feeling nothing. I see that totally lost. Like lost. But you should also know, I'm not showing you this to feel something. You need to see they don't care. And why fight something like that? That's what an idiot would do. That's what a silly idiot would do. A person, someone who really sees danger would go the other way. Right? And so I don't know what that's going to look like, folks. But, we're just talking about this. It's all fresh, Kirk and all this. It could maybe turn around, right? But we got to be honest. Or just not fight, separate. I don't know what the heck. And we'll get to calls and some more on that. Just a little bit of some of my thoughts before playing some of this stuff. It's definitely not, I already said it. Okay. Sorry about reaction inception. A little reaction inception here. Terrible, I know. This is Everything is Fake's favorite line of work. Reaction content. But look, this guy compiled some of these TikToks. Watch. So, happy music to him getting shot. They're writing that explicitly. Charlie Kirk got shot. She's like, yeah. I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always. You get it. Just these look like what? Average people, students, young people. We get it from these I don't get to calls. Thank you so much. 888-775-3773. We'll get to all of you. Professionals, nurses, student body president. That's your Latina. Strong liberal lady probably over there in the school. Nurses, teachers. I mean, I guess you could say that about the right? I mean, these people who want the order in the home, they're right, doctors, workers, farmers. But, tell me where I'm inaccurately describing stuff. Please, 888-775-3773. But that was just some of this stuff online. Something that comes to mind. I noticed like the public. How do I put that? I mean, they're like, right? They're parading their names and photos and their workplaces, and they're asking the public, "Hey, you know what to do, X. You know what to do, Internet. Call the employers. Get these people fired." And there's something. How do I put this? It's like there's something Jewish about it. You know what I mean? Go look at the anti-Semitism. You're never gonna work anywhere. Make sure this person never has a job anywhere. And I'm not even like against the people. I'm not saying anything like that. It's just, I can't. But I notice things. Okay, I notice all sorts of things, and so it's a funny thing, right? When it's about you and just what you're willing to do, it's just a funny thing. I just no hate anywhere in any which way. But what else? You don't get mad at this, right? They don't care. I was thinking a number of things just to be quick here and get to my calls. Careful how you respond to stuff. I mean, just to be so fast on like, man, look, I'll say this. I mean, where's the shooter, right? I mean, we don't know. But I mean, when you don't know, I wouldn't utter like, you have a bit of a responsibility maybe to the public. I mean, the public is dumb. They're going to believe you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to believe you. Like, I don't know, man. I think it was this or that. They're going to believe you and go with it. What else? Luigi Mangione, I already said this. Copycats. Look, the last shooter that you heard of that went to that Catholic place and shot some kids or whatever and more, I think, had all this scrawlings on their gun about anti-Trump stuff and transgender. And then what happens? Some other big high-profile shooting, and there's scrawlings on their gun and stuff about this. Now, maybe there's other shootings like this, but do I smell copycat? Do I smell something? Careful what y'all say. Careful what you guys say to us. I know you guys care about us, the safety and all that, but, we're aware. Don't just stop. Just shh. I know you guys, all right? Be safe, bond, blah, blah, blah. But also, we know. And also, it's like, right, you're giving the airwaves ideas, etc. So let me stop myself. But copycat stuff, like that's how the evil mind is. You're seeing this happen, and that's pretty much it. I want to get to some of my calls. 888-775-3773. And I want to get to, is it Denzel? Is it Denzel? First time, New Mexico.
Yeah, you hear me?
Appreciate it, Denzel. You're on the
Can
on
you hear
the
me?
air. Yes, you're coming in clear.
All right. I'm a little unhinged right now.
Oh, you know what,
Was I the
Denzel? Are you
first
on
caller?
speakerphone or headset?
How does that sound? Sound better?
Yes, sir. All right, go ahead.
I'm a little unhinged right now. Am I the first caller?
Yeah, you're my first caller today. The first call I
Really?
took.
Wow. I feel
What's got you feeling unhinged?
I feel unhinged about this Charlie Kirk situation, man. I wanna crash out, but since I've been on hold, I don't know if I want to go through with what I want to really say. Right? It's going to be contrary to what you guys all been saying all morning, and so I don't know. I'm kind of having a little bit cold feet right now.
I think look. What do you? Are you going to say something like that might get me in trouble? I think you can speak freely. Just be like, when you're gonna, don't say anything illegal, or it's not like you want. It's not like you want to do anything illegal.
It's poetic.
You said
it's
what?
Poetic, man. It's poetic. It's poetic. Just everything, right? Everything is poetic. The young lady from Ukraine. I don't know when that happened. I guess it happened about a week or 2 weeks ago, and then you have this situation. What's wrong with the whites?
Express yourself. What do you mean?
What's wrong with the whites? You think a white person killed them, or who do you think?
You mean Charlie Kirk?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. They have this person
you
of
think a black
interest. I'm a little thrown off why you said what's wrong with the whites with the train stabbing, but with the Charlie Kirk thing, I don't know if you saw these person of interest photos. I don't know. It looks like that's just a person of interest. That's not clear who this is, but this person of interest I was showing. I don't know, has like a white guy look possibly, and then the trans stuff, the trans stuff on the gun. That's what's out right now. That's the information.
So he's a trans white male?
They were saying on a gun that possibly might be the shooters that they found. There are writings on it, and it has to do with transgender stuff and anti-fascist as ideology as it's
what is that? Can you tell me what fascism is? Is it related to communism?
Are you able to back off your phone, or are you using AirPods or something?
No, I sound too loud. Maybe I'm going to speak lower my voice.
I think we can make it work. So.
Okay. All right.
So yeah,
I was asking.
You were asking me what meant.
You said the gun, the firearm had anti-fascist.
That's right. It was reportedly anti-fascist and transgender ideology stuff written on this firearm.
What is anti-fascist mean?
And that they're against fascism, so to speak.
What is fascism?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it really is. It's like an ideology that was born out of a certain era in Italy, right? And they called it fascismo, right? And it's like a political and economic worldview. But these things, when people in America, and I don't know how this person said it, but if they said it, but how people say it today, when they call people like Charlie Kirk a fascist, they're saying, right, that they're like this authoritarian, tyrannical person that wants to take rights and make laws for the few and not for the many. What do you think about the word fascist, and is that how you see Charlie Kirk?
You know what, to be honest, I can't give you an answer to that. When I think of Charlie Kirk, I think about the comments that he said about the DEI pilots, right?
Uh-huh.
What did he say? You remember?
Something about if he saw a black, if he had a black pilot or something, he might something. Let me something like that. Something about if he had a black pilot, if he saw he had a pilot, if it was on a plane and he was a black pilot, would have some he'd have some questions. I'm paraphrasing exactly how he put it.
My bad. I got a real bad connection right now.
Is it your bad connection, or you're definitely not on speakerphone, are you? Because that's what would be making it bad. Because I know people lie about that.
Now, whenever you're ready to we could always I appreciate you taking my call. If it's
So did you see Charlie Kirk as a fascist after hearing that explanation?
I don't even know. To be honest, man, I don't like the comments.
Did you hear my explanation of that word? Did you hear my explanation of that word, fascist?
I don't even know what a fascist is.
You just asked me what it meant, and I told you how people see Charlie Kirk as one, and I described it, and I asked you if you agree. You said you don't know, and I'm wondering, did you even hear my explanation of it?
I mean, you said that a fascist is somebody who wants to take the
rights of. This is how when people call Charlie Kirk a fascist, this is how they see it. I mean, they're saying he's a guy that wants to take the rights away from the many, make laws for the few, a tyranny of these Republican men over others, and then there's different flavors, but that's how they essentially they call all that fascism. These fascists who don't want, as opposed to like democracy, where you vote and you get to say. These people are claiming Kirk and his ilk don't want that they don't want democracy, no voting. They want a fascism and make their own rules. Do you see Charlie Kirk like that?
No, I don't.
And so what were you thinking about this whole this whole situation then?
I feel like Charlie Kirk is one of those guys that definitely he knows how to say certain things to rile up feelings amongst people. So where I had my feelings about Charlie Kirk was when he mentioned how he felt about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Are you aware of those comments that he made about him?
No, I'm not familiar. What did he say?
He said that he was a bad person.
He said that Martin Luther King was a bad person?
Yes.
Oh. And yeah, well, how'd that make you feel?
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. He also said that when he sees a black pilot, he gets uncomfortable.
Yeah. And when he said that, how'd that make you feel?
I didn't like it. I didn't agree with it. Yeah. He based it off of race. He blamed it on DEI.
You think he should die?
To me, no, DEI. What did you say?
You think he should die over it?
I don't think that he should die over it, but I think that.
So then, what point are you making?
The point that I'm making is that
because all you said is something you dislike. Is your point simply to tell me what you dislike that he said? We're talking about a man that got shot, and you want to call me and tell me, oh, I don't like what he said. Help me understand what point you're making. If it's not just that.
The point that I'm making is everybody's over here. We're crying about.
You gotta get off speaker, man. I think you're on speaker.
I'm not
because I gotta let you go.
Hey man, you want to let me go? Let me go.
I don't want to let you go. It has nothing to do with the content of our call. I'm enjoying the call.
All right. Hang up the phone then. Hang up the phone then.
Oh no! Don't chimp out, man. Don't start chimping out.
I'm not chimping out, you.
Don't start chimping.
I'm not on speakerphone, dog.
It's about audio. Don't.
Hey, no, look.
Hey, relax. Ask me a question, or let's move on. Relax. Come on.
No.
Get to what you're saying, or we got to move on. You got to relax. We're doing a show.
Go ahead, move on. I know you got a lot of calls. You're backed up on calls. Handle your business, bro.
Aye. Lucas, Los Angeles. How you doing, sir?
Oh my goodness gracious! What's up, man?
How you doing, Lucas? Welcome, man.
I wonder if anybody.
I wanted to talk to him more. Whatever. I could help him on.
Yeah. No, yeah. I wonder if anybody realized that he insinuated in the beginning when he said, like, what's wrong with the whites, that, like, the sniper is white.
Yeah.
But I don't blame him. I don't blame him because you never see a black sniper. I don't think they can do it.
That's right. Anyway. You're right. They it's a terrible thing, but I noticed these white, whatever flavor they take, trans or otherwise, these white males, they know what they're doing. They become effective in what they're doing. It's scary stuff. Okay. And
that guy was a pretty angry black man. I don't know. He was leading you on to make fun of you. I can tell, but
no, but I may have suspected such a thing, but I wanted to
about
take it
him.
on. I may have suspected. I wasn't even thinking honestly like that. I was taking on the questions as they come. I thought it was great. I would have liked to have done it a little longer, but no problem. Lucas, go ahead.
Oh yeah, the question is, because well, I'm not gonna tell you I just want to know your answer to this, because this is something that just came to me after these events with Charlie. Like, what's the difference of people saying they want to kill someone, opposed to like someone saying how happy someone's dead? Whether it's online or offline. Like, what's the difference?
That's actually a really good question. And personally, I don't see the difference. The spirit is the same, and that's probably why it's maybe appalling, or maybe it shouldn't be appalling, but appalling to me and maybe others, conservatives, Christians for sure, because we see the same spirit, so to speak. It's the exact same because you're playing this legalistic game. It's like you get to play this, you get to thread the needle. It's such a devilish thing to do. I get to, it's like, whoa, on paper, if I wrote down my words, I'm not supporting the death of anyone. I'm just saying it's fine. I'm just saying it. But when you try and pin it down and ask, well, do you think they should have died over their speech? Do you think, but he said this about the pilot and this and that. Well, pin it down. Do you think they should die over their speech? Oh, no, they play this game, right? And maybe maybe sometimes that, they truly examine. They're like, okay, maybe what was I saying? Other times they stay in that hell. But that's a great question, I have to say, Lucas.
Yeah, because I'm just saying this. Like, I'm like these people are just happy that this guy's dead, and they're posting it online too, and they're talking about it, and even the people should be Well, see, I'm talking the reason why, because I wanted to get to I think people should be investigated, man. Like even the senators, how they're trying to make it about gun control, dude. Like, what's going on with them? How come there's no I don't know, some kind of understanding that the problem is not the gun, it's criminal. There's criminals, there's assassins out here now.
It is strange, right? Now, I don't want to just maybe you guys. Let me just say this. If I sound dumb right now because this is all a known thing, apologies, folks. But, there was the shooter that was on Trump, right? There was, and then not even just that, there's been rooftop assassins that's with no information. I think about America and how, in a lot of ways it doesn't handle things well. The institutions are rotten inside, right? So I think about the inability to maybe, properly identify, protect against these things. I think that maybe that's too far to say right now. It looks like, right, they already have a person of interest. It looks like they might get this person. But I'm just saying, it seems like when you have the will to do it and enough evil will, and if America gets dumber and ran by stupider people, we might not be able to catch these, it'll just be mystery assassins. What's happening? What is happening? And then the politicians, to go back to what you said, bring it back home. What do? They go on we need gun laws tour. So, okay, our politicians are absolutely stupid. We're unsafe.
Yeah. And one last thing I want to talk about the Charlie Kirk thing. So I was talking to my dad about it, and I showed him the videos that I found and everything. And he was telling me has to be a trained hitman, probably from the CIA or something. But if that is true, if it is a trained hitman, that whole leading up to the tree and the words on the gun and the footsteps and everything, that was his mislead. That's what hitmen do, and they go another way. So they are on whatever that thing is called, hunt. It's called the something hunt. A witch hunt, or
a manhunt?
They're looking the wrong way. They're going the wrong way. They're going the wrong way. This guy's probably or
you're saying that those are details that someone could be putting in place, like chumming the waters, so to speak, to get them off the trail, get the scent off your trail.
Yeah, the hitman did that. He set it up. Yeah, the hitman set it up to miss trail. If it is a trained hitman, like a professional, because it could be.
And I'll it's one of those things. I just don't know. But I'll ask you this: I just don't know. And you're fair to say it, but I'll ask thoughts also. I'd like thoughts also on the likelihood of a transgender person pissed at Kirk and skilled enough with weapons. You seen some of these trans people? They like their guns, man. Have you noticed some of this? These trans, they're kind of like, especially lately, right? Oh, these Republicans, they want to get rid of us. They've been getting trained. They've been like posting online about their firearms and stuff, and they're into it. And so yeah, thoughts on the likelihood of transgender or pro-trans ally, et cetera, type person. You're mad enough at Kirk to kill him. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that could throw off the trail. That's another thing that could throw, because now they're thinking they're looking for a trans.
But thoughts on the likelihood in your mind?
Oh, the likelihood if it's a trans, I would say less than 50, like probably 20% chance it's a transgender. I'm more 80% chance it's a trained hitman. Yeah,
fair enough, man. Yeah. I mean, you're welcome to think. I think it's very. I think it's just as likely. I think it's far more likely in my dad.
My dad was in the army,
far more likely.
And I believe my dad. I'm just believing my dad. I believe my dad.
Yeah, it's fair. That's why you can call in. But right on. Anything else you want to say on this, sir?
No, that's it, man. Dude, have a great one. And if you want to call in, just put down Charlie Kirk. We don't care. Go ahead. It doesn't affect us. We have no anger. There you go.
I love that, Lucas. Thank you for that. Call us again.
You have a good one.
888-775-3773. They had lost anyways, right? It's no biggie. Maybe I didn't have to be quick though, right? Because like in my mind, it's like you've lost control of yourself. And I thought he was swearing, right? He would start just, and I'm like, oh man, I hate to do this. I could have stayed a little. Maybe he would have calmed down, right? Another chance, so to speak, but not today. Only one call a day. We appreciate you. 888-775-3773. I want to get back to my calls. In fact, I'll get right to you here in a sec. Thank you. We'll get to Ty, first-time caller. Very nice, out of Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
Nick, can you hear me?
Hey, Ty, thank you for your call. First-time caller.
I appreciate you answering, man, and keep up the good work. I like what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, Ty.
I've been watching for a while, trying to watch the whole crew, and
shout out.
I definitely appreciate you guys in moments like this. Like the last caller said, I know I don't have anger, I have no feeling towards the situation, but it's the Jews. It's the Jews.
What do you mean?
I'm just joking. but now, hear me out.
I'm like sweating, but I'm also like, tell me what to. Well, speak, sir. I guess you call myself. But
this is why I said it.
Go ahead.
Because I don't know if you've seen the clips, but Charlie goes to like church every Sunday, and he has like a pastor that's a best friend.
I'm not familiar.
He says that Charlie confides in him, and he said that Charlie said that he feels like, because Charlie said that his life gets threatened all the time. But for something, it was something particular about this moment in time that he was worried about, which I thought was weird. But then also, I brought the Jew joke because I don't know if you know, but a lot of his views been going down since he's so like, he is in love with like Israel, which is nothing like, wrong with that. That's his business. That's his prerogative. But, at the moment that we're living in time with the whole conflict with Israel and Gaza, and with a lot of things being talked about and, a lot of things being noticed, especially over here in America, I'm just saying, look like starting to put two and two together and starting to question things a little bit. I know he likes to follow his audience a lot.
He expressed concern over his safety, like a particular concern, besides just generally his life being threatened.
To his pastor, there was a clip his pastor made last night. I don't know if somebody else showed it or because the pastor made the video himself. But I don't know if some other people shared it or not. But I seen the pastor make a video. Of course, he came out expressing his condolences for the family, but he also wanted to say that, I'm not just Charlie's pastor. I'm like his best friend. I wish he would have said I was his best friend because he confides in me and we talk a lot about a lot of things. And, it didn't sound like he was somebody who was just like, want to lie about it. It just didn't sound like it was somebody who want to lie about something like this. And so
And
it
what
had
would
me
be
really listening
the
to what he was trying to
purpose?
say.
And what would be the purpose of like
I don't
right
think,
of
I don't
Jews
think,
or of Israel murdering Charlie Kirk in that way, or what, or any affiliated whatever you're
Charlie
saying?
Kirk has. You see all these, especially the young white men.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlie has influence, like real influence out here. And so
That's
if
true.
Charlie starts to put things together, and it's like, okay, I have one side of my audience is like pro-Israel. I have another side of my audience that's obviously pro-Palestine. He got to hear out both sides. He can't just stick to the pro-Israel side all the time, especially if you're trying to claim that they're not paying you, they're not paying for you to say certain things, to push a certain narrative or propaganda. I think he had something to like try to prove to his audience that he was going to like start hearing them out, maybe start asking questions. And I think that is what was getting him like too close to the fire, because they need him to keep the narrative the main thing for them. Because I thought it was real
It might
funny
have
how
the total opposite of an effect, though. I mean, I think it's a little bit. I wouldn't even. You're welcome to think it, say it. I mean, that's what I guess you could call it. I wouldn't utter such things personally because I just don't know. But look, what can I say? I mean, you could say the opposite could happen, the backlash, etc. I mean, maybe he's at the in many ways he's been very. I mean, I don't know how to put it. I mean, and you could also maybe flip that argument and say, well, but he's too used to what's the word? Too big of an ally. Like it's just for everything you said, and I don't even think that's necessarily wrong, but
no,
you could say that's a fact at least. You know that he's not against Israel or anything and all that. I mean,
no.
Why should he? I mean, he's Christian and all that, but look, go on.
No, I'm just
it's
saying,
just you were thinking. I get it, but it's out there speculation for me personally.
I don't know anything. I was just speculating, man.
Yeah, I understand. I appreciate you being honest about that. Yeah, but hey, I'll say this too. I almost when there's no info, and I mean, can you ask more? Maybe they've only put out what they can, but the longer it goes and there's no person caught, etc. Although I think it's coming personally. That's people are going to speculate, right?
Yeah, but not just after hearing his pastor say that kind of was what brought those speculative thoughts on. I really wasn't trying to put him in like certain light or anything like that. It was just something I kind of noticed.
Fair enough.
Because I watched a lot of Charlie Kirk's debates. I like Charlie Kirk a lot.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask about that because I'm not familiar with him like you were.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I watch a lot of his stuff. I get a lot of backlash from watching his stuff.
Oh, for real?
But but I just started noticing the viewer counts on his channel wasn't doing the numbers it's been doing for like years, and I think a lot of that has to do with this Israel conflict. I don't know, just speculating.
I'd have to take your word on. I'd have to take your word on that one because I'm not familiar with this, and I've heard it described maybe a little bit, but this you're describing this like timeline with Charlie Kirk and this this idea that there's some disagreements about it on the right wing, and that may have been affecting his views. I'll have to just take your word on some of that. I'm not familiar with Charlie like that, and if he really was. Becoming, I don't know, I guess becoming a problem, so to speak, for any staunchly pro-Israel voices. But, Denzel, Ty, sorry, apologies. Ty, anything else you want to say on this?
Sorry about the dog.
A little one?
Yeah, I got somebody knocking at my door. I don't know who's supposed to be coming unannounced. That ain't too good for them. But the only other thing I wanted to speak on was man, sorry you had to deal with that first caller, man.
No problem. It's no problem.
But keep doing your thing, man. I love the show.
Thanks, Ty.
I love Death to Death, man. He helped put my life back in order where it needs to be.
Same here.
I forgave my mother. I forgave my father. Got my life back.
That's everything, man. That's awesome.
And I love it, man. It's been different. It's been working a different way ever since, man. I just appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah, back at you, man. Appreciate it, Ty. Call me again.
Yeah. Y'all take it easy.
Nice. 888-775-3773. Just take his word on the speculation, Nick. Clown. You guys got to learn to listen. Okay, guys got to learn to listen. I'm talking about, this narrative of Charlie Kirk and being staunchly pro-Israel to having some sort of questioning attitude towards it, and it being negatively impacting and showing on his views, and him drawing ire of staunchly pro-Israel voices. I'm not familiar with that narrative. I'll have to take some of your words on it, but maybe I don't know what that means. Does take someone's word just mean? I thought that was just a nice way of saying, okay, you could say that, and I don't really know if it's true, but I guess examining the phrase, take your word. I'm believing them, right? I just, in my mind, when you say, I guess I'll just have to take your word is kind of a nice way of saying, that, no? Like, you'll say it. I have no reason to believe or disbelieve you. I thought that's what you were saying, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'll just have to take your word. In my mind, you're saying, okay, I have no reason to believe or disbelieve you. That's exactly what I said, Nick. You just took his word on it with no data. Clown. Anyways, let's keep it moving here. We got calls. We got stuff to get to. My caller bringing up some stuff, and the caller previous too, our friend there. Let me see if I can pull this up because this is actually interesting. Hassan Abi, you might know him. Hassan Piker. He's on the internet. He's like this liberal guy, but like I have to. This pejorative comes to mind, Hassan Piker. But look, champagne socialist, right? Like distribute, like radical thinking. But he's living it up, like in LA, like right. He's got like Twitch subscriptions, man. Anyways, shout out, no hate, right? But at least not on the biz, right? But the hypocrisy. Charlie Kirk opposed the Civil Rights Act. He called George Floyd a scumbag, said he'd be worried about black pilots, and that he'd force his daughter to carry a pregnancy to term if she was raped. He shouldn't have been killed, but he was an extremist. Like the callers previous, like one of my callers. I mean, you'd have to. He does the little. He does the little like posturing for us, because you'd ask, well, do you think he should be killed? And then of course he does it for you. He's like, he shouldn't have been killed, but he throws in the but, right? You don't really believe the thing before in the sentence before but. You usually don't believe that. But also consider, let me also another preface, because of how Hassan Piker is. He's a communist, right? They lie. And let me give you evidence. I'm not just pulling it. Like, for example, or it's not always lies, but sometimes it's like a way you present something in a very deceptive way. Consider, so I'm bringing this up because the number of things he just called out here, we have to take with a grain of salt, because look, he says he'd be worried about black pilots. Like, that's such a crude, right? He said it a little differently, more like Charlie Kirk didn't say, oh, I'm thinking about all black pilots. He's just saying if he got on a plane and saw one, he's thinking, okay, I'm wondering if he's qualified. And who wouldn't with what you've seen, right? If for better or for worse, whether it's right or wrong, you saw it. Either you're like a lefty, but you saw the planes going down, you see the right wing saying this stuff. It might go through your head. Charlie Kirk a little bit more honest than others. More honest of us, saying what people are thinking. But the way he characterized it makes me think when he says something like he'd force your daughter to carry a pregnancy to term if she was raped. I wonder what he really said. Did he mean his like younger daughter, like not adult daughter? And what was the scenario? Was Charlie Kirk was just saying that, no, I don't think even if you were raped doesn't mean you should abort someone? And so Hassan, being this one of these liberal communists, loves to mischaracterize things, writes it in this way. He'd force his daughter to care. So again, I'm saying that because that's how these people are. They don't care. And let's not, right, as I read as we talk about this one with a grain of salt, I guess, on what he says about Kirk here. But yeah, think about what was the first radical thing. He just gets to say that, is all I'm trying to say here. He just gets to say that today in this vantage point of the insane history that America's gone through. But this was radical back, right? This was the first radical act, enacting such a thing like the Civil Rights Act. Charlie Kirk opposed the Civil. What a funny thing to even say. He opposed it. What, he went back in time and opposed it? You mean you have some thoughts about how about all the civil rights and how it applies how it applies today? Charlie Kirk is the guy who, when black people come up to his debate thing, he's like, "Hey, look, I just think I'm not responsible for something in the past, and you're not, and you're not a victim of something in the past. And how about we shake hands and work together? And how can we better serve the black community?" That's the kind of guy he is, right? You're not getting the I don't care what happens to them, put him back in chains type people. That's not what's going on. That's not what's happening. We don't have a race problem. We have a problem race. and look, so that's the guy you want to say opposes the Civil Rights Act? Like, called George Floyd a scumbag, said he did. These are just showing this to you to see what they call so radical. Quite silly. But anyways, like they've what's become radical in their minds, right? Is the first radical thing that was put in place, them sitting in it, and then when they want to take it away, for some semblance of some sort of reasonable, right? Have some reason here. No, you. They call it radical. You can't kill. That's a life in there. You can't just end it for any reason you want, etc. But anyways, also that's I'm also talking about the side that's always like, leave us alone. You do what you do, right, in your places. But whatever. What else can I say here? I want to get to some of my calls. Yeah. I mean,
Do you support his death?
I do.
Some are
You support his death?
I guess some are just particularly sick, but again, this brazenness, again, tell me, how far is this from the very average Mexican lady telling me first thing about Charlie Kirk, her thoughts were, live by the gun, die by the gun. When has Charlie Kirk ever lived by any gun and killed anybody or did anything to hurt somebody? Consider how far is that from this?
You support Charlie Kirk being killed?
Yes, I do.
On the day he died, you're here at a vigil for Charlie Kirk and you support his death.
Do you support a Nazi?
No, I don't support a Nazi. Charlie Kirk wasn't a Nazi.
You
support his shooter?
Yep, sure do. Freedom.
You support Charlie Kirk's shooter?
Sure do. He does all a favor.
Would you shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk?
I would have killed him myself.
You would have killed him yourself? Okay. Do you have a job here in Seattle?
Nope. I take that.
Whatever. So anyways, just psychos. But anyways. Martin Luther. What did Charlie Kirk say about Martin Luther? And in what way does that deserve death? Charlie Kirk, Martin Luther. You mean that communist? Are you familiar with Chad O. Jackson?
Describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk
Is that all he said?
We note in our piece that Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk's self-described very, very radical view that the country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. As we note in the piece, Kirk has previously described Kirk as a hero and a civil rights icon. It's true. I used to be wrong. What inspired Kirk to shift his view on MLK? Why does Kirk think that MLK is a bad guy? When Kirk says that MLK says, quote, one good thing he didn't believe, what does he mean by that? Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? Once a week we talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake.
Really? They talked about why the civil rights was a mistake? Did they ever talk about how it was the worst thing that happened to black people? That's so interesting. And, he's right of being a mistake. And I don't know what he said about it, but he's essentially right. Listen, Denzel, anybody else, he's absolutely correct. And I don't see Martin Luther King as any different than some of these. If you just look at Al Sharpton and those kinds of folks, and even further, I mean, take it to Benjamin Crump. Honestly, ambulance chaser Benjamin Crump is today's Martin Luther King. Folks, for real. They're essentially race baiters following an old playbook. And that's what they do, okay? And I've seen maybe one or two comments, right? That one, Martin Luther, not to be confused with MLK. Martin Luther King, right? MLK Jr., right? Who Charlie Kirk was talking about. Civil rights, that's what we're talking about. not like when Catholicism split or whatever. Protestantism was created. All right, folks, wake up, class. Wake up, class. We're talking about Al Sharpton. We're talking about when he called out the Catholics, like, oh, you're gonna buy your way into heaven now. Oh, you're gonna buy your way into heaven now. Come on, class. But anyways, race baiter. I mean, look, he may have had that one quote, right? I want us to all be judged by the content of character, right? And then he had maybe some other quote that was Christian, and then the rest is you've been black people. It's time, white people. They've been treating you like this. It's time to stop with the racism. Civil wrong movement. What a mess. 888-775-3773. I want to get to. Hello. I mean, God. You fell asleep? Talking about Martin Luther. Let's get to. Is this Yeshua out of Indiana? How you doing? Or is it Jeshua?
What, am I on?
You're on, Jeshua. Appreciate your call.
Hey, Anchor baby, what's up, man?
All is well, man. Thanks for your call.
Quick question, bro. Changing the subject.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
All right.
What's up with that shirt, man? You still feel a certain way about that shirt, man? You don't even wear it no more, man.
Oh, man. What shirt?
Come on. You got to let us know, bro.
Oh, man. You telling me the sparkly shirt?
Yeah.
I thought I escaped that.
No.
I thought I was free.
Viewers over here, no.
But it just keeps coming back. I threw it away. I burned it. Hey, I put it in the trash.
Happen.
I made sure it went to the landfill, and there it appears again, like some kind of.
We'll get you another one.
No, I'm telling you that it doesn't go away. I've tried to get rid of it, and and it shows up on my bed. There it is. It's still at home. I have the sparkly shirt. Trust me. I've tried to get rid of it. I've tried burning it. I've tried tossing it away, and then a caller calls me about it, and when I get home, there it is, laid out on the bed. It's freaky stuff. I didn't want to talk about it on air, but it's what's happening. I have the shirt still.
Awesome. Good.
And it haunts me, clearly.
Yeah, you did, man. I was like, man, when's he going to wear it again? He really got hurt over this.
Yeah, we might have to rock the sparkle blouse. How do we break free of the curse? Do I just have to maybe stop feeling something about it?
Jesse, you got to ask for forgiveness.
Wow. Yeah, I think that might be the very same thing. Man. That might be the very same thing. You're right.
Yeah.
It's in me. The hell's in me? I'm stay cursed.
You're right, man. one more thing, man. Can you? I don't know if the show has. I'm pretty sure you guys have clips of it, but is it possible if we could see the last verse that Charlie quoted in that conference?
You said the last thing he said?
The last verse of the Bible that he said in that conference.
Are you familiar with it? I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, I was hearing about it, and I'm like, what? They have he actually said a verse of the Bible in that. So that would be his last verse.
Are you saying that the last words he said right before being shot were Bible verses, or was that earlier, like hours earlier, that he had said some Bible verse?
It was like two questions. There was like two questions before that, and he responded with a Bible verse. I was wondering if you guys could fetch that for us, man.
Well,
because everybody's like, I want to remember him as a, he's not here to defend himself, man.
Mm-hmm.
All these people had all this time to go to one of those things and ask him personally, man. It just sucks that, they wait for this to happen to blow up. And it's like, we all have family members that passed. They may have not been the perfect people, but we always just remember them for the good, And I just hate seeing those. I don't hate, but it's a dislike when those posts come up. And it's like, man, let's remember the guy for the good things. Like, he's not here no more. That's it,
Yeah.
Why talk about the guy? That's it. He's not even here to defend himself.
It's sick. It really is. It's really wrong. It's like wrong. And they're threading this needle, playing with the devil, saying, okay, well, it's like, I'm not saying I want him to die. It's just fine. And it's fine because you said these things, but you're playing with the devil. You have that's such a wicked thing to be so close to in your insides. You don't come out unscathed.
Right. Because it's an internal issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I get to see you more, man. I didn't get to see you that much on here, like live.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Monday through Friday should be right after Hake. Been after Hake for a bit now, but that's how it should remain.
God
right
bless.
after the Hake
Thank
report,
God.
sir.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man, for helping build man again. You and Jesse, everybody there, man.
Thanks,
You guys
Joshua.
are awesome.
Appreciate the support, man.
Thank you so much, man. You guys take care.
Call me again.
All right. Bye-bye.
888-775-3773. Yeah. I grew my hair like Nick, and people said I look like R. Ramirez. Who's that? Who that? Is it Richard? Oh. That's not cool, bro. Oh. Why did I know it was going to be something like this? Why did I know that it was going to be something like this when I searched this up? I grew my hair out, and I grew my hair out like Nit, and I ended up looking like Richard Ramirez. Wait. I knew it was going to be something like this. He won't do it. He's such a nice guy. No, we're messing. Look, I don't know. I forget what this guy did, but I know it was a little recent, huh? Oh, no, wait, this is old. Richard Ramirez, The Night Stalker, 1986. What a mess. Don't look at chat. Don't look at chat. Don't. But chat makes me laugh. Hold on. I'm going to get to calls. I'll get right back to you. 888-775-3773. That's enough. Get out of. Don't put any more Richard on the screen. We're giving people the wrong idea. All right. We'll get to calls here. Thanks. And the supporters, super chats and all that. Looking at my chat here. Appreciate you guys being here. Looking at my chat over on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. Never gonna look at you the same anymore, Nick. Ban him. Okay, let's get to. Oh yeah, I got another one for you though. Yeah, I got another one for you though. If you thought Richard Ramirez was good, hold on. Hold up. I got another one for you. If you thought Richard Ramirez was good, let me present to you my other possible identity. I'm that Jewish fella who stole all that money. Which one? Hey, apparition, you calm down with that anti-Semitism. Sam Bankman-Fried. Just call me Sam Bankman-Fried. Although I got the curl tech on right. I got the curl tech on real nice right now. So I'm looking more like XQC or some ish, curly-haired XQC or something. So, but if I go like this, if we start getting the volume out there, let's see. No, I shouldn't be doing this, but whatever. We're live on air. We're ruining the hair. Now we got the Bankman-Fried. Okay. Now we got the Bankman-Fried. Shout out Bankman-Fried. I heard he met Diddy in the jail. And I heard Diddy's a nice guy. I heard that they met. Sam Bankman-Fried describes his relationship with Diddy in jail. Shout out Sam Bankman-Fried, the convicted crypto fraudster who is serving 25 years in prison. Say it can't be me. All right, calm down. Is breaking his silence about his life behind bars in a new interview. So anyways, that was a while ago. But what did he say about disgraced rapper Sean Diddy Combs, Free Diddy, who is serving time in the same Brooklyn detention center on racketeering? What a travesty. Let him go. It's kind of so. Bankman-Fried told Carlson that Diddy is kind to people in the unit, adding that he's been kind to me. It's kind of a soul-crushing place for the world in general, and what we see are just the people that are around us on the inside, rather than who we are on the outside. Bankman-Fried told Carlson. He said that he and Diddy are two of the most famous prisoners in the world. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's get to Rick, Hampton, Virginia. Appreciate your call. Let's rock these calls.
Man, there he is, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Brother Nick, what's going on, man? It's a sad, sad day today, man.
It's terrible.
You know, I'm like, I don't have no proof there, Nick, but I believe a liberal shot him. And I don't have no proof of that, but I just believe it. Because I'm going to tell you what there, Brother Nick. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes. I mean, I'm just saying, one thing about when you deal with a liberal or either somebody that's in their thoughts or in their emotions, you cannot talk to them, man, because they get to hollering and screaming and insulting. And I have never seen Charlie Kirk insult anybody, demean anybody. And here's the funny thing. You know, when somebody is not a Christian, they try and bring the Bible up and they misquote and don't have a full understand of the context. And then Charlie Kirk just explained to him what the context means. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
He never demeaned anybody. And I watched a lot of his shows. And you hear the black side, but he was racist because he was saying, matter of fact, I had a friend that sent me a couple of clips of saying that Charlie Kirk was saying that if he fly a plane, if it's a black pilot, I hope he's qualified. I hope he's not a DEI hire. Ain't nothing wrong with that because I do the same thing. When I fly, I pray for the white pilot, the black pilot, an Asian pilot. I say, Lord, help him be in his right mind. Help him fly this plane according to the rules and regulations. And God protect us all on this plane. And in that case, I'm the biggest racist in the world there, Brother Nick.
That is such a good point because you're bringing up the self-preservation of people and how that is essentially criminalized.
Right.
You know, they call it racist, but it's gotten I think it's far gotten into the point where people who have not been racist enough or discriminating enough or discerning enough have found themselves, as you saw, dead on the Charlotte train and etc. So that's a funny thing about self-preservation. That's really what Kirk is talking about. We're talking about what anybody would do to think about the preservation of themselves.
Right. Yes. I mean, when you're in the air, you're in a plane,
fall from that sky, man, you was, hey, if a plane fall and that pilot pass out or he be a terrorist or something, our goose is cooked. Unless God intervene. You see, and even when I go to the doctor, Brother Nick, I pray for my doctor. I say, God, give my doctor the knowledge he has learned, help him to be honest and diagnose me accordingly. Even if it hurts me, help him give him the strength to be honest with me.
True.
You know?
That's right.
You know, and I tell you, man, when you you know how they say you can't talk politics, you can't talk religion? Only to liberals you can't talk that to them. Because most times conservatives sitting up there just listening like, okay, let's have some dialogue, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But as soon as you say something as soon as you disagree with a liberal, they go to hollering and screaming. It's also another lady on YouTube. Now, she goes around, she does the same thing Charlie Kirk does. She goes to colleges and challenges girls. She talks mainly about abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think her name is Karen on YouTube.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it, man. Keep going.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, she what was I going to say? She goes around and talks to girls about abortion. And then and I'll tell you, liberals can be very, very mean, man. They try to flip the script like conservatives are mean, but
vicious.
No, it's a lot of times conservatives fight when conservatives do get upset. You know, we shouldn't have anger, but sometimes, man, that engine rises up, Brother Nick. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, and that can be vicious too. But yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, the conservatives get mad at the lies, and the liberals get mad at the truth.
Right, exactly. You know, and we shouldn't get mad at them because it's their life. Like Jesse says, if they don't want the truth, they don't want deliverance, let them sit in their hell.
And and leave them alone. Go far away from them.
That's it. Leave them alone. Leave them alone.
Yeah, because in this other way, I mean, they've made it clear they don't care. That to them it's if you're Charlie Kirk and you're saying, oh well, the gun laws should be this way. That's tantamount to that guy killed those kids at that school shooting, and that's basically what I'm hearing from the generic public, blaming Charlie for the deaths of people because he supports some certain gun laws, blaming people for their lives because of his support of certain abortion laws, and they're hitting them, and to them in their minds it equates to this is a person that doesn't deserve safety, free speech, and they're pretty much fine. They're basically fine with him being shot.
Wow, because I just had a friend of mine send me a text just saying, they had some clips that Charlie Kirk was saying, hey, all these DEI hires, because I'm going to tell you, when it comes to most black women, a lot of them have these college degrees, and guess who is their biggest employer in most cases? They're Brother Nick.
Say again?
I said most black women, you know how they say black women are well educated?
Yeah.
But guess who is their biggest employer?
Oh, I've heard this one, the government.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's their biggest employer. And also,
the same government, right? That's like, we got to give them jobs even if they don't deserve it. They got to hold them up. They got to give them taxpayer money.
Yep.
Yep.
They're not
Very
qualified.
Suspicious.
They don't. A lot of them don't know the job, and then stuff. And then when they had to be put to the test, they get upset and want to holler racism because they don't know the job. Instead of them just, hey, look, I'm new. Ain't nothing wrong learning. Most people learn on the job, to be truly honest.
Yeah.
Most people cook their resumes and learn on the job. But the problem is, most black women, they won't say, oh, no. Instead of them learning on the job, they just go up there and holler racism if they get caught and don't know something. You see what I'm saying?
I see. Yeah, how you can't run anything like that. And it turns out to be society breaking. I don't know if maybe people thought that you could maybe have a little bit of this. Hey, let the girls work. Let them have careers a little bit if they want to. And it's like, oops, actually, terribly low birth rates. In fact, society-ending birth rates. Oops, who'd have thought? The baby makers, we made them do everything but that. I don't think there's a mystery there. I think the answer's right there. But just talking freely here, Rick. Anything else you want to say here?
Yes, I do that, Brother Nick. It's just like You know the Young Turks, Sink Uger,
I'm familiar.
the Young Turks.
He's
And
been around for a while.
He even gave a real passionate speech, man. I was surprised. Sink, I truly believe Sink is a good guy. Ain't none of us good. I believe he's a decent guy. I really believe that. And he said a really compassionate speech. He said, "Come on, guys, I'm not for violence." Did you see that?
I saw that. I think he's sincere because he's an older guy.
He says, he said,
He's
"Come
just
on,
not,
guys,
like,
all this."
stupid about all this stuff like that. He's just
And
like
I
an
think he
older guy.
liked Charlie Kirk. He's not even met his family.
Yeah.
I mean, you can disagree with somebody and still love them, you know what I mean? But you can't do that with liberals.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're against transgenders, they hate you. You're a bigot. I mean, look. If you're a man and you want to go through all that pain getting your genitals and everything else cut, that is you. You suffer. I'm not. That's your shell. You know what I'm saying, brother Nick?
That's true. That's just a fact.
You know what I mean? I'm not getting mine cut off of that. And most time when people go through that, something's really wrong with them. People have a lot of undealt trauma and anger. And people are stuck in their thoughts, and people can't. Now I understand the silent prayer. It just helps you to overlook your thoughts and just live in the present. Live with now, you know?
To see it's not you. Why would you be saying those things? But yeah, you're so right.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with anger, and it comes out in different ways. And when it comes out in different ways, but whatever, it comes out in this way too. They got it in their minds. They need to hurt this person, but they've been thinking like that for a while, most likely, having violent thoughts about themselves and others.
Wow, man, you're right, brother Nick. You're right, man. But it's just a sad day with Charlie Kirk, man. I really hate that happened, man. The way he got killed, man. When I see the clip, man, like he just fell over, man. You know, almost kind of remind you of John F. Kennedy when he got assassinated. Yeah, you know, and I hope they catch that shooter, and when they catch him, I hope Utah has the death penalty.
A swift, but
Look,
you said you saw JFK?
I'll take off work to pull the switch. Well, yeah, you know when John F. Kennedy got shot?
That's right. You saw
when he was riding back, man. Yeah, you can see that clip. Ugh, that's horrible, man. It was John F. Kennedy got shot in the head, though. But anytime you get shot in the head or the neck, you're pretty much gone, unless God intervenes.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing, Rick.
Yes, it is. We're gonna keep.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I just pray that no one gets angry and start retaliating, get up here shouting at the liberals. Don't do that either, because we're going to win them by being patient with them, because most of them are traumatized. Most of them didn't have good upbringings. You know, I mean, they push single motherhood and stuff. All the stuff they push, it comes back and bites you.
That's
you know, because the only way this country's going to get back together, man, is unless they strengthen the family, man. Men need to come back home. Women need to stop trying to run the families without men. Stop having babies by Pookies and Ray Rays and Kens. Get you a real qualified man who's going to be there.
It's just a constant, like, you have this glaring, okay, well, the family should be fixed, but it's like, let's try all these novel ways to let's keep eating our cake of women, right, having the order that any way you want, and live any way you want. It's like, let's try everything in our power with novel, creative ways to keep that going. No wonder it's just getting worse.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's getting. Where do you think going to take to stop this violence there, Brother Nick?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, same here. Same here, man. The only thing I say it's going to take is drop the anger, man. We got to drop the anger, man. Drop the anger. And, you know, when you drop the anger,
I think a strong show, personally, I think.
What did you say, Brother Nick?
A strong, I think a general answer to that is a strong response to violence. Having a strong response on our side to violence, right? Being strong and definite and public and to show it, I think would be a general response to what do we do about violence in America, etc. You have a strong response, swift, strong response to it with the law, etc., or whatever, and you make it clear and public.
Man, the police is just like, the media got like the black community. They got them fooled. They crying about the crime. At least Trump want to do something about it. But the politicians say, we got it. We got it under control. You don't got nothing under control. And if people can't wake up and see that, man, even somebody poke you in the eye, you ain't going to notice until they poke both your eyes until you blind.
So true, Rick. Thank you for that, Rick. Anything else, last thing you want to say?
We gotta go.
We gotta move the wheels here.
Well, I know you guys to go ahead and move on, Nick. But love you, man. I'll see y'all guys tomorrow. Bless all my brothers and sisters who are listening. Let's pray for Charlie Kirk's family, and let's pray for the liberals that they come to the light, man. Come, drop their anger, and give their life fully to Jesus Christ.
Rick, appreciate it. Call me again.
Thank you, brother Nick. Love y'all. Be blessed, brother.
I got you. 888-775-3773. A couple coffees here. Appreciate it. Eric, coming in generous coffees, man. He has some commentary here I want to read. Eric writes, what's wrong with the left? And he answers here, anger. Democrats are terrorists. Women can't handle the truth because they don't like how it feels. Women have deep hatred in their hearts for Charlie Kirk. If you tell them anything they don't want to hear, they claim they're being attacked and that you hate all women. That rhetoric gets people silenced, canceled, and eventually assassinated. Tiptoeing around women's emotions creates a world of lies and gets people hurt. There's nothing uncomfortable about the truth. Never be afraid to speak the truth. Interesting commentary, Eric. Yeah, you can express that further. And how do I put this without being too on a high horse with this? Because I want to say something akin to like a sharing of blame. So this is kind of off the cuff, but it's tempered by obviously knowing that some generations they just kind of coming into this, they don't realize it's a societal. Maybe you could almost blame. You could maybe kind of spread this across it. I'm talking about the truth here, like for example. Black people, black crime, etc. That's terrible, right? What the movies have said, what the companies have said, and them supporting Black Lives Matter, politicians. But consider the world. But consider the little fear that the individual has in their life that has helped to create the environment that I think Eric is describing very well. Appreciate that, man. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Yep, buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. You're making me think of some of these TikToks. I mean, shall we? I want to get right back to my calls here, though. I have a number of calls here I want to get to. But I mean, look.
Kirk got shot.
You're talking about this. I am thinking of this woman, but I'm seeing males expressing this crap, and they really are. You almost see the female spirit in them that really adopts just whatever is the approved take. They download the approved take, which is this other side is. Think about this. The approved general take is the other side. It's okay. It's time to dehumanize them because they are Nazi, fascists, etc. And it's fine that they can be shot and killed. They live by the gun, die by the gun. When Charlie Kirk never hurt anybody. He didn't shoot anybody.
My coworker was all in a tizzy because she gonna tell me that Charlie Kirk got shot, and I said good. So we get into this whole conversation about it, and she goes, well, you can't hate people for their political views. And I'm like, yes, I can. Like, that's specifically why I hate people sometimes. You can't hate me for my views because my views don't infringe upon your rights. You don't hate me for what I believe in because it doesn't interfere with your life. Some of these views are dangerous. And I'm glad he got shot. Hopefully he dies. I don't care. Like, my coworker was
just ghoulish. Sick stuff. In America, right? Yeah, we don't even have to play this one. They're chanting, "We got him in the neck." Just clapping it up. It's what you see these skinny guys led by their like female faculty and like fatter and older. Sometimes I notice, in their chants and all that. It's a very strong female. Look, this guy's in a bonnet. I don't even know if he's trolling. Let me get views. I hate Republicans. Let me just make that. I know they're gonna hate this. Oh, let's say celebrate. He plays that song. Celebrate. He's dead. I don't know. It's like, they're another thing too. Remember, they're trying to get a reaction, right? And I was glad when I saw that lady at the gas station. And I was a little, call it surprised or whatever, because I just had noticed. I had noticed, wow, I don't feel a single thing here. I can see how lost you are to say such a thing about Charlie Kirk. Thanks for the support, everybody. Okay. Viewers on Rumble, very nice. Thank you. Let me get to first-time caller out of Virginia. Appreciate it. Derek, thanks for your call. You're on the air.
Hey, Anchor Baby.
How you doing, sir?
All right. First, I am very numb what happened to Charlie Kirk. I'm getting a little better, but I listened to a lot of his speeches. Yeah, yesterday I was very numb. Today the numb is kind of wearing down, but because the reality is setting in, I couldn't believe it. I listened to a lot of his speeches, and I know I'm a Christian, a true Christian, and I know he was appointed by God, and I know Trump is appointed by God. God can use anybody. I know Trump is not a Christian, but God can use anybody. You notice in Trump's speeches, he always mention God. That's the first thing he say out of his mouth.
Trump does.
Yeah, Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people, I know this is geared toward Trump because anybody that's a support of Trump, they're deemed as, in their eyes, as a devil, or what they call him the Antichrist, which is a lie. I want to go back to that guy that called in earlier about Martin Luther King.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that he didn't like Charlie because he said Charlie said something bad about Martin Luther King. He didn't say anything bad about Martin Luther King. He said that he did some bad things, like he cheated on his wife, he smoked cigarettes, he did some other things that were sinful. I mean, he's a human being. That's what he was pointing out. But,
and even if he said, even if he went out and said terrible lies about Martin, maybe even if he said terrible things, I don't think that should be
right.
It's not any reasoning for the justification of someone's being shot like that, personally.
Right. I think this is a wake-up call for all Christians. You saw these videos with these, they probably liberals, and they said good riddance to Charlie, and just so demonic. And this is a wake-up call for Christians to step up. Now, I don't mean physically fight, but say out loud God's name, Jesus Christ. Because there's so much wickedness in this world. So many people who are possessed by the devil, and they really don't know what they're doing. They just getting thoughts in their head, good and bad thoughts, and they just proceed to do these things that's coming out their thoughts in their mind. And like that killer who assassinated Charlie, same thing with him. I guarantee you, after he shot him, he was panicking. I got to get away, because the thoughts were so strong in his head for him to kill him. And then when it was over, everything calmed down in his mind. the devil flee from him. Thanks for doing my job, man. And he fleed from him. Now this guy's on his own. You know? I know it's hard for some people to believe that, but it's a spiritual battle that's going on.
Yeah, Derek.
That last caller, I agree with a lot of things he said. I just he pretty much saying the same thing I'm saying with it.
Yeah.
Christians need to stand up. You know, and it's just sad that people but gonna hate somebody just because he has a agenda or what is the word? Freedom of speech.
Yeah, viewpoints.
You know,
Different
and they can't process that information. They just want you to say what they want you to hear. The ones that are against God, the ones against Trump, the ones that was against Charlie. And it's just, if you say anything that's good, they're ready to hate you and throw you in the fire or kill you. It's the world we live in now. And I'm black, so I want to say to, like, this is demonic thing that the devil is doing for a lot of some blacks, not all. That putting that slavery and racism, which to me don't even exist because blacks are not denied anything in modern America. So I don't know. It's probably that parents had instilled this nonsense in their head, and they just taking it to another level.
Yeah.
I see a lot of videos where a black being arrested by a cop, and the first thing he cries out or she cries out is racism.
Yep.
Racism this, racism that. They don't even know what the word means. They just saying it because they just heard it from somebody else. It's just
Absolutely,
sad. It's just sad. It's just a sad.
Lost. It's just lost. They're lost.
They're totally lost. I can see if it was prejudice, because every race of people have that. Everybody has prejudice. You might not like the color clothes I wear. You might not like my shoes. That's prejudice. That's what they experience. That's what a lot of people experience. Every race of people experiencing that.
Mm-hmm.
But you got these clowns in office like Al Sharpton, Roland Martin, Maxine Waters, what's some other blacks? They just so clownish and foolishness.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Johnston running Chicago, Jasmine Crockett representing a district in Texas. I mean, it's insane.
They all getting paid by the liberal or the Democrats. They getting paid to do a job. And that's just to say, hey,
so
racism still exists. Racism still exists.
That's so true. They're getting, it's like anyways, a song and dance maybe. Let's, thoughts on, I forgot what I was going to ask you, man. But you're so right, Derek.
And it's just, I know the other day, I was on Facebook talking to this guy, and he brought up something about, the female that got killed on the bus by that maniac.
Yes.
Black guy. He said, good. And he wrote in his chat, well, good. That makes up for the slavery days.
Wow.
I mean, I'm like, are you sick? What is wrong with you? And then he come at me with all these F-bombs and all that stuff, and you're gonna get yours too. And I'm like, brother, you need to seek God. You lost.
Yeah.
And when he comes back, when Jesus Christ rules this earth, I hate to say it, but if you continue to be that way, you're going to burn in hell, gnashing the teeth. You think the devil's going to?
They're for sure burning right now. I mean, they're for sure. They're for sure burning right now in that hell. I mean, look, here you are. like they're like lashing. They're so crazy they're lashing out at the first person to question him and talk to them. You're like, hey, brother, you're calling him brother for God's sakes, and he's like, you're describing the story to me. This person's like, oh, you'll get yours. They're in hell.
Yeah.
They're in hell right now. That's for sure, at least.
Yeah, they in hell on earth, right? Because they getting all the information from Satan, and he's the source of hell. And yeah, you're right. So I don't know. It's just we just have to stand up as Christians, and just keep. Everybody's not appointed to be a preacher, but you can say something about just mentioning his name, Jesus Christ, to somebody, and in a calm fashion. You don't have to, get all riled up like they do.
Mm-hmm.
But the enemy would do the opposite, get you riled up, trigger you, say certain words, and you get triggered and you want to fight, and all this kind of nonsense. But
well said, Derek. I appreciate that, your commentary on that.
All right.
I was gonna. Can I ask you quick? Well, real quick. You said Trump's not a Christian. In what way, if you could say?
I could be wrong. Well, when I say a Christian, I say you have the Spirit of Christ in you. Because you're gonna be the Spirit is gonna control you, your thoughts, because you're clean within. I guess it's his fruits. Maybe his past. I know he cheated on his wife and did a lot of sexual stuff, and I don't know if he got away from that. Well, I'm sure he got away because he's married. But his past. I did a lot of background check on him. But one thing I know I love Trump. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know Trump did a lot for black people. If you did not know, before he came president, before he got into the political arena, Trump, he supported Jesse Jackson when he ran for president financially. I'm originally from New York City.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave 4 black men money to start the first black bank of Harlem.
Oh yeah.
And he told them, don't even pay me back. Just set up your business and grow.
Huh. I never heard that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you have to research that stuff. I mean, I researched.
Yeah.
And when his first time his first term in office, he gave $255 million to historical black colleges.
Oh,
so where is the race? I mean, you have to do the research.
No, he loves black people. That's true.
Yeah, he loves black people.
This is true.
Mike Tyson's his best friend.
That's right.
Where is this coming from? These people saying he's a dictator and all this kind of nonsense. He's trying to store order in America, which Biden and Obama did not. They just destroyed morally the fabrics of America. And look what happened now. The gay people, they're spreading their agenda. They want everybody to accept them. You see 2 men kissing on TV, and you got little kids watching that crap.
So true.
It's just, I know you got to go.
No, Derek, I appreciate your call on this and your commentary. Can you call me again on? Can you call me?
Oh, again? Sure, definitely.
First time call out of Virginia. Very nice. I appreciate you calling.
Thank you.
888-775-3773. Shall we go through these calls quickly in the last few minutes of the show? Thank you very much. I want to shout out my super chatters, though. Terry, I didn't read this one yesterday. Shout out to Terry. Says, stay flying high, Anchor Baby. And some flags and a shout out. So thank you for that, Terry. David A. We got something from David. Says, did you hear about Charlie Kirk? Terrible thing there, David. I'm sure we've gone through all of it there. Appreciate your earlier super chat there. Gregatron says, just saying hello. Thanks for being on the air. Back at you, Gregatron. Thanks for the support. And we stay on the air. Thank you. And back to back there with Gregatron says, I got to go to work. Love y'all. Back at you, sir. Thank you, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, for all the support and all the coffees. Thank you. Buymeacoffee.com/Anchor Baby. We got some generosity there. Thank you for that. Okay, let's go through these calls quick in the last few minutes. Ross, New Jersey, appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
All is well. All is well.
I was wondering if you ever went to a circus.
I can't say I've been to like this classic circus that you speak of. Like in my mind, I think of like a tent, and I think of like these acts. No, I've just been to more of like a fair, I guess, more like a fair, a theme park. But no. I gotta say no on the circus.
Back in the day, you know, before TV became real popular, there was traveling circuses that would go town to town.
Cool.
And they would have, in the circus tent, there would be like a sort of a secret scary one that would be the oddities, they would call it. And you would have to pay extra money to go in there and see the bearded woman and the tattooed man.
The tattooed man was like a sight? Like someone who has, like just a man who had tattoos?
Yeah. And they would just take people that are different. What the point is, they would take people, the circus would take people that didn't fit into the local communities, and they would usually join up with a circus and travel throughout the world representing their, like sort of their independence or their special person that they are. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of understand. It's interesting.
And it's
I thought I might have been a carny spiritually, maybe. I sometimes maybe understand that so in some way, shape, or form. Please go on.
And what I'm trying to say, it's almost like that's what we're going through today.
Explain.
Where, you know, everybody wants to be their own individual person and put out their own content and put out their own feelings, their own emotions, their own thing because they want to be an individual. But it sort of looks like everybody's just really in one big circus.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of describing that, man. Yeah, I think you might be right. Like the Republican circus and whatever word you want to give it, whatever identity you want to give it.
Well, you got to go back to perspective. Like what Jesse says, the sun, you know, the father, the sun that feeds the planet. It also shines on the moon, and it also feeds all the plants, humans, and everything else on Earth. So that's got to be God, right? And if we get our energy from that sun as a man, we're going to be able to lead the woman, which is the moon, and we're going to be able to figure her cycles out because she's got them every day for 28 days a month. And we'll be able to figure that out and start to work back towards growth instead of death. Because I think the tent of oddities are nice, but it pulls people down too many different roads to follow and pulls you off the main trail of God. And I thought that Charlie Kirk was a man that was the word of God. And I feel like he's one of his soldiers that got killed.
Terrible stuff on that, Ross. Quick words on that in the last few minutes.
That's it.
Charlie Kirk, you put it right there, man. Ross, I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Call me again, man.
Take care.
Steven, I apologize to do this to you, man. I appreciate it. It's a first-time caller out of Maryland. We got a minute or two with you. How you doing, Steven? You're on the air. Oh. I don't know what happened there. All right, folks. That's the show. Hope you enjoyed it. We did the Super Chats, topics, callers, and everything. I'll be back tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby, maybe Anchor Air. We'll see what we get down with tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe. You hit the notification bell so that you're aware, you're up to date with what we get up to here on this channel for tomorrow's Friday Chill Friday show. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Well, of course, we're also back with JLP, the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report, the Fallen State, and all that. So make sure you're following, you're liked, you're subscribed, and all that. for now, I must say goodbye. But I'll see you, like I said, see y'all tomorrow. So take care. Goodbye.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.